Please, you can tell that my belly is empty because you're looking into my mouth. There we go. That's the poo pot. That's the pee pot. You gotta climb up on the... No. Rollo, slow down, buddy. Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to Dragon Quest Builders. This is part 2, so if you missed the first episode, where we started the story and learned all about the basics of building, please check that out. I'll put a link in the description. We are almost to the first big monster battle of the game, as well as the end of what would be the demo portion, so I'm gonna be flying blind pretty soon here. Not literally, but yeah, you know, I won't know what's gonna happen. There is a poisonous swamp over that mountain, and if I wandered in there, maybe I'd go blind. I gotta use these goggles, I guess. Okay, so we have 2 citizens here. Pippa, who is busy slapping the workbench and making something, and they'll put it in a chest. There might be stuff in here already. That's some of the stuff that I threw in there, but that's where they'll throw things down if they craft anything, and I can put extra stuff in there as well. And then Rollo over here, we just rescued him last time. These guys are just like cats. They love to just hop all over the place. He's gonna stare at that block and maybe just drop off. I'll keep the camera so that we can see. There he goes. Okay, so let's talk to Pippa here and see what our next quest is. This is Dragon Quest. You know, Doozer, I've been so starving lately I could eat my own head. All of this building and inventing is hungry work. So I've been thinking, if we had something to cook with, we could make all sorts of delicious, nutritious meals. What do you say? Can you think of something you can build to cook things up? If you do think of anything, put it in a room with a chest so that we can store the delicious dishes we make. So yeah, make us a room to cook in. Alright, Doozer is gonna come up with something, this little inventor, and we now know how to make a cook fire, so we're gonna try to craft that. And I think the room to the side there, the health bar part of the camera, I'm gonna make into a nice little kitchen, and we can gather ingredients to do that. Okay, she is just going crazy. She's got a little hammer. Make me a kitchen. I'm busy blacksmithing over here. So we should try to look at stuff we can craft, because I think we're gonna need that cook fire, and we need a bonfire to do that. And we have one right here, but if I was to break that, we would lose the bonfire that we have. And a nice thing, we would lose this whole workstation. It wouldn't be one anymore, is what I mean. But the nice thing about having a chest here is that it drew my blue goo out of there, the slime, to make that other bonfire, which is so much nicer than having to have everything in your inventory to make that happen. So we did that. Now we can make a cook fire. There we go. And I think she said it just needs a chest as well, so let me see what we need to craft one of those. A few broken branches, and I think we're running low on those, but there's a couple right outside of town here. That glowy light, it makes me just want to stay within the bounds and not go explore, but actually I do really like exploring in these games, so that was a lie. No, we got a Draki staring at me, foreboding for the monsters to come. Okay, so I've got enough branches here. I could also plant these little milkweed buds, and they will make these little plants here, the milkweeds, and I can smack them and get more petals to make that healing cream. So you can kind of do a little bit of light farming, at least so far. I'm sure there's more to that as we go on, but I'm going in, without knowing too much about what's in store. There are other modes that I haven't really mentioned. There's like a free build mode if you're really into just, making creative buildings and stuff like that. And also, there is a battle mode, so if you want to just fight stuff, we'll check all that out pretty soon when we get access to it. First, we need to get through this little portion here. Okay, so I'm gonna throw my cook fire down. And I think she said it was just like a cook fire in a chest, possibly, is all we needed. We also need a door, so I can't just, take one off of here. We got to make one real quick. And what do we need for that? Let's see. We got everything. Okay, luckily I've got a spare branch in there somewhere. And that might be most of what we need for this, other than I'm sure we'll probably need a light source, because most rooms do require that. We have our first crude kitchen. All right, that might be it. Okay, and it's 150 points. We're pretty close to leveling up our area here. And yep, she's happy. So we don't need a light source because obviously we have the cook fire here to light things up. Wow, look at that. Blimey, you did it. You made me a place to cook. Now I'll be able to make all sorts of scrummy food. Thank you, Doozer. And that chest is perfect. If I make anything really, really tasty, I'll put it in there so you can try a bit too. All right, and that is very helpful because we don't have to worry about crafting a lot of stuff. Our little citizens will do it for us. And nothing in there yet. I kind of am curious what she was making over here. We do have another quest. Rollo's going crazy. I love when they craft. They just kind of scrump around on the table. Yeah, I don't know what she might have made here, but it looks like nothing too important so far. They're gonna start making food. I'm gonna put this chest in here that we, I think, stole when we were rescuing Rollo. That'll give me some points. Well, 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 by my bulbous belly, it seems we have a kitchen now. This creative power of yours is a wonderful thing. I wonder if your culinary skills are equally exemplary. What say you test them out and make me something to eat? All right, why don't you go make it? Please, you can tell that my belly is empty because you're looking into my mouth. What? Make it yourself. Oh, he did. Doozer's pretty sassy. You built a whole kitchen for Pippa, but you won't even make me a single measly meal? Doozer, you wound me. I thought we were friends. By the way, I should mention that I saw some delicious-looking orange mushrooms growing down by the water's edge. I'm sure you could make a terrific meal out of a fine ingredient like that. Almost said terrible. 3 servings should do the trick. Do we have an agreement, friend? I think I've got a bunch of these in the chest as well, so I'm take those out. And let's go try to make him bring me some cooked mushrooms. I demand it. It gets tiring being inside of a dirt prison. So last time we did rescue him, we're gonna build. So we could just build as many of these as we want, which is a nice thing too. Just, make all of them for every mushroom we've got, because these are gonna be a lot better to eat than the plum berries that we've been snacking on so far. Can't make a fried egg. I love that the chest is there, so they just, they jump over. I think later we can build roofs and stuff, but right now they're just like, whoop, no need to use the door. Marvelous work, Doozer, my friend. Do I detect the succulent scent of freshly roasted mushrooms? The fragrance alone is a mellow melody of mouth-watering flavors. By my growling gizzard, these shall make a magnificent meal. It almost reminds me of Gimli from Lord of the Rings, not just because he's got a crazy beard, but his diction. Come now, hand them over, quick, quick, quick. All right. Guzzle slurp. Marvelous work, Doozer. We shall have to rename you the Cooker. The Cantlin Chronicle covers a wide range of topics. The chapters concerning the preparation of hearty, healthy meals are of particular... Yep, I get it. Pardon? You want to see it yourself, the Cantlin Chronicle? With your own 2 eyes? I'm sorry, Doozer, but that book is a priceless family heirloom. I can't just go parading around in front of everyone that asks. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any worth in this village, because I'm a scholar. And besides, the tome is written in an ancient and cryptic script. There's no way that you or anyone else would be able to read it. What little knowledge I myself have gleaned from it has taken years of painstaking study. However, I have not a single doubt that this book holds the key to restoring the city to its former greatness. I shall not rest until I have deciphered each and every one of its secrets. But fear not, my friend, I will not keep these secrets to myself. As soon as I make a breakthrough in my studies, you'll be the first to know. Okay, and as for these mushrooms, it is only fair that you should taste the fruits of your labors too. Take this as a token of our everlasting friendship. Thank you. He gave me 1. Meanwhile, his beard has like chunks of mushrooms in it. Okay, and we're getting close here to that battle. What? Have I finished reading that book yet? Learn some patience, young man. I made it quite clear that you would be the first to know of any secrets I uncover. Deciphering the Cantlin Chronicle will take time, Doozer, and our work in restoring the city has only just begun. I suggest that, while I continue my studies, you labor to rebuild the city to its former greatness and prove yourself the builder you claim to be. By completing rooms and placing within them the items you create, you can increase the level of your base. This is Rubus, the goddess. But be wary that you do not place your decorations more than 2 blocks above the floor, for such items do not count towards your point total. Go now, my child, fill your town with buildings, and those buildings with furnishings, and see your new home flourish. Doozer, pay attention. Now, can you think of anything we could use to decorate all these rooms you're about to build? So later, I do think we can get a little more complicated with designs, but right now we've got kind of Dragon Quest I style with no roofs, an earthen urn that can be used to store one's personal property, a pot. So let's try to make one of those. And we're gonna try to, decorate it a little bit better here before the monsters invade. So let's see how to make a pot. Should be pretty simple. And all we need to do is, we can already make them, some earth and some blue goo. So I'll make a couple of these and place them around. Maybe 3 is good. So every room has their own pot, and we can do with them what we will. Put food in it, go to the bathroom. There's not enough space. We gotta put it right there. There we go. Okay. And yeah, I don't know if he wants me to do a ton of these, but I'm just gonna put them in the corners. That way, if someone needs to do their business, then they can do that. Not worry about having it right next to their bed or anything. Okay, and let me see what he might want us to. Oh yeah, we just have to go to level 2. So I think just a few more decorations, maybe another straw mattress or so. He doesn't have a bed, does he? I didn't think about that. What if we put a bed down for him? Because there's one in that other room. He can sleep here. There we go. And maybe, let me see. You still have a lot of work to do, Dooza. This town isn't going to rebuild itself. Jeez. I can't have you shirking your responsibilities as the builder. You have a duty to the people of Cantlin. Still, it's not my place to tell you how to do your job. What you choose to build and where you choose to build it is up to you. All right, we have the power to make so many things, but we could make, yeah, pots, straw mattresses, things like that to complete all of the items and everything that we want to do to level this place up. So yeah, she's just kind of reiterating. All right, maybe like one more good thing here. We could spare some slime, some blue goo, because I've got quite a bit of it. There we go. All right, this room, I wonder if I can put a pot on top of here, because that might look pretty nice. There we go. That's the poo pot. That's the pee pot. You got to climb up on the climb up onto the the box if you want to do that. And then we'll put another over here. This might be just enough to do it. All right, yeah. Yay! We got that classic level up sound, and now the base is level 2. He's just going crazy crafting, so I don't want to distract him too much. How you doing, buddy? Wonderful work, Dooza. I'm impressed. Not only are you the legendary builder, but it seems your powers are becoming ever greater. Dooza, my child, no matter how many monsters you defeat, you will grow no stronger. Only by the weapons you wield and the armor you wear will your might as a warrior increase. Kind of like Monster Hunter a little bit. You are the builder, my child, and it is by building this base that your true strength be revealed. I'm sorry to say, though, that I've made scant progress in deciphering the Cantlin Chronicle. I dare say it will be some time still before... Oh, by my sensitive ears, did you hear that? Uh-oh. So as you can see by the swords above his head, we have some battling to do. So very quickly, I'm going to eat the Seed of Life and maybe eat some plum berries to kind of restore my health a little bit. We should probably craft some more healing cream just to be safe. And I'm going to finish building up some of these walls post-haste, because if the monsters can get in here, we're going to be in trouble because we got these citizens to protect. Okay, so I've only got a few blocks here. Let me see, as long as this outer wall is fortified, that rock and that rock is going to get in the way. We got to be careful. So yeah, the monsters can kind of jump up and get through some of these spots if I'm not careful. I might as well close this little spot here off and maybe just get around the other side. It's not going to, we got to fight these monsters either way, but it'll help make sure the base isn't going to be fallen too fast. And if you root the monsters into one area, it does help, because then you know where they're going to attack. You're not going to be surrounded by monsters or anything. So let's kind of finish doing this. Pop a couple blocks there. There we go. Yeah, as long as this is kind of closed off, I think I can... There we go. Perfect amount of blocks there. All right, I think we are ready to go. The workshop's going to protect that side. This side, ooh, there's a couple spots there. I don't know if they can jump up that high, though. Let me just, get rid of this. Anything that these monsters are going to be able to jump onto, I want to get rid of. Oh, and we lost our cypress stick. I should probably not be using my club here. Let me just quickly throw that down, and if we have enough, there we go. I'll build one of those. We'll quickly equip it, and then we don't have to worry about... I like to use the worst attack damage stick to break things until we get our cool hammer from the box art and everything. That's what I'm using to break stuff, and then I'm gonna use my my oaken club when it matters. We can't break that though, so I should probably... Let me see if I can get a couple more blocks here. I'll take this rock out. Just, making sure they're not gonna be crawling up on the walls like Rollo over there. They are, yeah, they are really like cats, because they do climb on top of everything and kind of wander around where they will. You can't control them. They're their own creatures. I guess they're also like humans in that way. Okay, and I've got probably enough here. I think this will be good. Later on, we'll be able to break these blocks easier, but for now, I'm gonna, I don't know if we need to actually patch that up anyways. We can't place blocks midair. I'm gonna have to break this to get up here, and then, trust me guys, here we go. Okay, I'll place this down, and then I'm just gonna make sure that no monsters are going to be able to get up on this wall. I know this is, a long shot in some ways, but I want to patch up the spots where the monsters could potentially use these rocks to get over here and jump their way in rooms and areas where I'm going to have a hard time protecting as well if I'm, out in the main courtyard. Okay, I think that's good. It looks nice to me. I've got a ton of food. I got all the healing items. I got a nice weapon. I think we are ready to go here. Let's sleep, though, very quickly. I'm just going to steal Rolo's bed since it's closer, and then we'll fight them in the morning. All right, guys. A peaceful waking up sound, but that is going to be juxtaposed with the battles to come. Okay, let's talk to Rolo.
Doozer, I have the most terrible tidings. I know not what has driven them to it, but the monsters plan to attack our great city in force. We must protect Cantlin at all costs. Doozer, you must prepare our defenses against the coming assault. But fear not, I shall fight by your side, my friend. I shall do my duty by protecting dear Pippa and our beloved home from harm. Rolo speaks the truth, my child. The vicious beasts that dwell hereabouts are heading here in droves. This town is the seed of all Alfgard's restoration. It must not be allowed to fall at the hands of the monsters. With an oaken club in hand and enough healing cream to tide you through the onslaught, you must drive back the Dragon Lord's foul followers. My child, are you ready to face this fight? I am. This is your first true battle, Doozer, but fear not, for I know you shall prevail. Here we go. And we even have the little screen wipe that is a staple of old Dragon Quest battles. So unfortunately, it looks like, Pippa is going to run in there. I'm scared. I wish she had a weapon to fight, but we'll have more allies later on. I think there's like a barbarian lady that joins us. There's a couple skeletons here. They're trying to find a way around, so that's what I'm going to worry about. That guy seems to be the one that's going to get around first. I'll let those guys do what they will and handle this guy. This is probably the better way to deal with him, so you don't have to have them all, jumping in any which way they can. Oh, careful. I think the skeleton leader appeared, is what it said. I'm using my strategy of trying to jump in and hit them. They're all coming around this way, though, so this is going to be a little tougher to deal with. I should be very careful, too, because Rolo is going to be in trouble. Careful, buddy. Oh, he's pretty tough, though. I don't have to worry about him too much. I should be protecting myself. Here comes the skeleton leader. He's huge. These guys have those giant Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball heads. Okay, very quickly before he gets over here. Rolo, slow down, buddy. Yep. Let's see if we can get... Yeah, we don't want to run into him. You got to be careful not to get too close to him. And while Rolo plays the tank role and distracts him, there we go. Made that a little easier. How about that? All right, we finished off our first monster attack. Pretty simple, but it's showing that the town is not going to be safe from, outside forces. Well done, my child. You have saved Cantlin from the monster's audacious advances. As hope wells within the town people's hearts, so too will your banner of hope grow, blanketing the land with even more warmth and tender light. But now it seems the location of your base is known to the Dragon Lord's vile vassals. The monsters fear that should the people of Alfgard band together, they will lose their dominion over these lands. No doubt these beasts will launch yet more offenses ere long in an attempt to crush this beacon of hope. You must protect this place, my child, whatever it takes, no matter what manner of brutish behemoth assails it. Even a giant golem. And Doozer's like, well, yeah, I'm only one little guy here. You do not know if you are equal to the task. In fact, you do not really understand what the task I have given you is all about. You just want to build things, not fight monsters. Well, sometimes you gotta fight stuff. At this very moment, that may well be so. But as you come to know more of the people here, you will realize that with great power comes great responsibility, little Spider-Man. I have done all I can for this benighted land. The rest is up to you, my child. Work together with your new friends and restore the city of Cantlin to its former greatness. I must leave you now, but I know that we shall meet again when your work here is done. Until then, know that I do watch over you always. Goodbye, the goddess tutorial. We obtained a pair of blue fragment little shards there. And here we go. We've restored a bit of light to the land. It's not quite as gloomy now. We did it! That'll teach them. All right. So our next quest is going to be using these little fragments here. But we also have a new buddy jumping in. Hey, he's making like the other townsfolk and just climbing on the walls. Who are you, little guy? I saw a great shaft of light on the horizon and thought it warranted investigation. Imagine my surprise when I discovered a bustling village with all 3 people. But who are you, and what are you doing in a place like this? Well, I'm Doozer, and this is my base. Get out of here. I beg your pardon? You're building a city? Humph. Good luck with that. If you expect people to work together and live in harmony, you've another thing coming. I hate to burst your bubble, boy, but there's not a man alive who has the luxury of looking out for anyone but himself. I'll prove you wrong, tiny guy with the cute hat. Speaking of which, I'm tired out after that trek. I'll stay here and rest for a while if you don't mind. The name's Larouche. Shan't be staying long, I don't think, but in any case, pleased to make your acquaintance. So he's moving in to the base. He's not the nicest guy. A town, eh? Humph. But maybe we'll win him over. I think the banner got upgraded. It looks a lot nicer now. I'm going to have some plumberry, and then we'll see what our next quest here is with Rollo. Now, I might wait till I get a better weapon, but over yonder, over the hills there's quite a bit of land, and there's a green dragon sleeping that I did fight in the demo, and it's a cool little boss type of monster, like a mini boss, and has a nice funny reward, so we'll have to do that soon. Brilliant work showing those blighters who's boss, Doozer. But it seems the filthy fiends have found our humble settlement. We have no way of knowing when they might strike next. We must devise some means to keep them at bay. By the way, I noticed that you found a pair of curious stone fragments in the aftermath of the battle. I had seen an artifact of similar design in the Cantlin Chronicle, and man of action that I am, I investigated further. If you were to stick those fragments together again, I believe you would form a device known as Teleportal. Apparently, you can just plonk that thing down on the ground and, hey, presto, it'll whisk you away on a sunbeam to a place where you can find wherever your heart desires, and I think that opens up the other game modes that we can play. For a builder like yourself, putting together a thing like that should be a piece of cake. Well, Doozer, do you think you can glue that teleportal together again? No problem, buddy. All right, so let's go craft that. And the Blue Teleportal, an ancient artifact that can convey you to far-flung fields. I thought he was, or it said convoy, like a truck is going to take me. No, so we're going to be able to teleport. Excuse me, Pippa. All right, so yeah, we're going to need a little bit of blue goo, so I'm going to go have to fight some slimes. Let's do that very quickly. I almost forgot to mention, I did say last time this game is on PS4, PS3, and Vita, but unfortunately, that was only in Japan for PS3. They did bring it over here for PS4 and Vita, but I think at this point, they figured, not as many people playing PS3, unfortunately, so it's not going to be released in the West on the PS3 version, most likely. So I do apologize about that, but I wanted to let you guys know before I, because I saw some people asking about it in the comments, but I thought they had brought it over for all the versions, but unfortunately, I do think that, the Dragon Quest games are way more niche over here than they are in Japan. They're super popular over there. What are you doing, buddy? It looked like he was groveling at Pippa's feet or something. So what do we got? Ooh, nice. They made a fried egg for me. A speckled egg, fried sunny side up. So normally I think we'd need some type of eggs to actually make that. But somehow Pippa managed to find some. All right, so let's build this thing, the Blue Teleportal. And we're going to have a special room for it. So we'll do that next here. And Rollo will give us the rundown. Marvelous work. By my baby blue eyes, you've done it, Doozer. Do you have baby blue? I guess he does. You've made a teleportal. Tried to get in there. There it is. Now you can travel to distant mysterious worlds and back again. In these new and exciting lands, you're sure to find new and exciting materials with which to build new and exciting items. Quickly now, plop that teleportal down on the ground and hop on through to whatever wonderful destination awaits you. Actually, Doozer, before you head off, there's something I wish to ask of you. Something of which the good of our city and its continued growth may depend. Once you have that teleportal up and running, I beg of you, speak with me before you step through it. Okay. So we are on our way pretty soon here. I think the next quest, once we go through the portal, is to find that hammer, and then we can, do some better building and destroy stuff a little easier. I'm going to make this back room here into the teleportal area. And I think there is like a blueprint or like certain things that you want to do to make this certain room. I'm going to have to break these because we can't break stone yet. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can't do with the tools that we have. So I'm going to kind of make a door here. Let's make a door here, I guess. I don't know if they, this all needs doors or anything, but figure we could make a few of these little doors and plonk that down. That stick is bothering me. I apologize, this place is a little rustic, but we're gonna do our best here.
to set it up nice as we go along. All right, and we've got a portal opened up. I don't think we need to make a custom room for it. That might have only been a requirement in the demo. Not half bad. Let's see what Rolo says. Marvelous. By my athletic physique, the teleportal is activated. That mystical swirling light is positively hypnotic. When a teleportal shines like that, it shows that a path is open to a place where all your dreams can come true. Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Doozer, my friend, there is one thing I wish to ask of you before you pass through that glimmering veil. I ask that you find out how to build that most mighty of tools, the Giant Mallet. The Cantlin Chronicles describes the Giant Mallet as a fearsome hammer, strong enough to break huge boulders and fell great trees. Rocks and wood aside, you are bound to find a veritable bounty of new materials wherever this teleportal takes you. And with new materials comes ideas for new items. Items we can use to make our city even bigger and better. The monsters known as hammerhoods carry these giant mallets everywhere they go. I'm sure that they could tell you how to build one. Once you have learned the recipe, waste no time. Build one straight away and show it to me. Okay, so actually we're going to skip making this into a room, it looks like. Excuse me, Larouche. I'd like to put a block there, buddy. There we go. And then they can't get up there as easily, but that's okay. They'll hop on that crafting table to do that. So yeah, our next step is going through the portal. I think they maybe added crafting or building that room up around it as another task to do in the demo, because that's where the demo ends. And that is about where our video is going to end here today. I would love to go fight that green dragon, but as I mentioned before, it's a very tough little enemy, and at the same time, it's also going to take a long time to take it down. I think it took me like 15 minutes of fighting it with this weak weapon that I've got to take it down. So I think it would be better just to confront it later, and then we don't have to spend so much time on it. It is really cool looking. I love the green dragon designs. I don't know if we have enough. I'll just leave that as like a little area to go through. And then, do we have any torches here? Pippa's busy cooking some eggs or something. So let me very quickly, I think we've got some in the chest actually. So I can grab one of those. We'll put that in the room and make it an actual room here for us to go and put pots in and whatnot. I'm sure we'll have more decorating things in the future. There we go. There, yeah, the teleportarium. So I think they made you do that, or at least told you how to do it in the demo, but I just did it and added to our level. Everyone stops what they're doing when you complete something, and they're like, "You're such a good boy, Doozer. You completed that build." Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to drop off some of my materials here, like our chimera feathers, and we don't really need the cloth and everything. And next time, we will step through the portal and find a way to make that iconic hammer from the thumbnail and the title screen and everything. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys soon, though, for another episode of Doozer's Adventures in Dragon Quest Builders. Goodbye.